Everybody, welcome back. I am the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another coaching session. This is going to be a Silver 5 Nami game. So first we're going to do an op.gg review, sort of talk about some of the things that I see going on there. Then we're going to do a pre-game, just what people should be thinking about going into a game like this. And then we'll watch the game itself. I'll take some notes and we'll do a post-game. If you're interested in getting a coaching session yourself, you like this, you would like for me to review one of your games, just a $20 donation, and you get the coaching session and the op.gg review or the Google Doc with the op.gg review that I send you. And I think it's very helpful. You know, a lot of people have said that they've gained several divisions after having one of these coaching sessions, and sometimes just having a different perspective can really help you see the game in a new way that can help you really improve a ton as a player. So it's one thing, you know, to watch the guides and to watch my stream and things like that, and you should, and I think that can be helpful, it can be entertaining, but when it's very tailored to your own game, when I can comment and help you out with your own game, then I think that obviously that's the best choice. So if you have $20 around, you enjoy the content on the channel, you want to help support the channel, I think that's a great way to do it. And if you are interested in that or you want to know more, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. If you want to watch more coaching videos, then you can catch them here at this playlist. And if you want to know more about a specific champion guides, including a Nami guide that I have, then go ahead and check out the champion guides as well. And you can find a link to this Google Doc in the description to the video, as well as timestamps in the description for the pre-game, the game itself, and the post-game. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So if you look at Akimbo, the one thing I want to comment on is I would like to see more wards. Typically, you want to do about one control ward every 5 minutes in a game. So in a 25-minute game, you know, you want to see around 5 control wards. I mean, obviously, it depends. You know, sometimes you just happen to have just enough gold to hit certain breakpoints, like you have just enough for redemption on a back or just enough for locket on a back. And sometimes the games just work out that way where you just can't get as many control wards as you would like. But most of the time, you want to be aiming for about 1 every 5 minutes. Excuse me. And I believe you, from what I saw, let me see, it looked like you only placed, yeah, 7 total wards. So you want to aim for placing 1 ward every minute in a solo queue game. So you need to be really leveraging the sight stone and just dropping wards everywhere. So you need to have about 25 wards. And you don't have to buy those. After you have the sight stone, you just have those. So there's really not a good explanation for why you don't want to try to aim for 1 ward per minute. Now, sometimes I'm guilty of not quite hitting that threshold too, but you need to have a lot of wards down there. A lot of wards. So I'll try to point out some ways in the video where you can do that. But vision, very, very important. I do have an entire video about vision dominance and vision control and why that's important and how to do it on the channel if you want to check that out. I won't go into that into super detail here because we just don't have time. This is not the venue for that. Was it past? There we go. So 1 word per minute. Now, as far as your masteries go, I recommend running for recovery. This will help you in lane a lot. You're not going to be getting a lot of bonus armor and magic resist. Remember, this is not your base magic resist and armors. This is not what you get per level, and it's not your base stats. It's only bonus. So because you're not going to be getting a lot of armor and magic resist, you only have 1 item that has that on it, then you would really rather just have a little bit of extra regeneration in lane. I don't like this. It's only 2 damage reduced from champions. Now, neutral monsters does not include lane minions. So when you get hit by lane minions, they're doing full damage. So this is typically not that great for a duo lane. You would much rather have the 15% move speed in river and brush. Primarily river, because it helps you rotate up and down the river to get to places where you need to be. It helps you ward safer. It's just a really, really good mastery. Runic armor is good. I like runic armor. Now here you really want insight, and the reason that you want insight is primarily for exhaust. You want that exhaust cooldown big time, especially they have a Trendamere, they have a Kha'Zix, and they have an Annie. If any of those champions go off and get super fed, you're really going to want as many exhausts as you can possibly have in the game. So Flash is also really nice to have. So you, like, I mean, that's a big deal. Like, exhaust, I believe, is 180-second cooldown. So having, you know, 15% there is going to be 27 seconds faster on exhaust. So, you know, having your exhaust roughly 30 seconds faster can be a really, really big deal. So you want to make sure that that you get that almost all the time. Like, there are some solo lanes that will run Fearless instead. But as far as duo lanes with when you're playing support. Like 99 out of 100, if you're getting this deep in the utility tree, you want insight. Like I said, primarily for exhaust to deal with assassins in the late game. Okay. Where? Oh, I'm looking right at it. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it's been a long day. Okay. Magic resist blues are fine. You're probably against Annie, either Annie or Ziggs in the bottom. You know, magic resist is fine. If you really want to try to blow them up, though, I would get AP. And especially because you have an innate heal, you should be able to heal through most of their harass. Neither one of these champions is all in early. So, I don't know. I would go AP here and just heal through their harass. But magic resist is fine. It's safer. But the AP is going to scale a lot better, and it's just going to be a lot more aggressive early on. So in 7.12, for this 7.11, you know, I would have recommended rushing Ardent Censor before Redemption, but it's 7.12 now as of today. I'm recording this because I started this replay up last night, and I haven't updated my client yet. So that's how I still have this available, even after the patch is done. Typically, you can't review replays from previous patches, but I got through it because I already loaded into the game. It just never left the game until last night. I've been running around all day with baby stuff and doing my patch notes video and everything else. And finally, I was able to get around to this, and I'm still going to be like a half hour late for stream, but whatever. I need to get it done, you know, so I'm doing it for you. And thanks for being patient with me. I know it's been a couple of days since you submitted this. So anyways, I think that the build you'll want to do in 7.12 is Ionian Boots, Sightstone, unupgraded Sightstone, Ardent Censor, Athene's Unholy Grail, and Redemption. I don't like upgrading the gold items anymore. These items are just so strong. Like, you need these items. Like, immediately, each one of these is just ridiculously powerful right now. And I would rather spend that than the extra 1,000 gold upgrading your gold item. So, anyways, I think that... I think that's the way to go. So this is the order I would build it in, and I would get Redemption as the last thing. Now, and Ardent Censor is the first one, and Athene's is really good too. So this is the build I'd go. Okay, so the pregame, if we're looking at the setup here, you should be very aggressive in this lane. You should absolutely crush them. You have a heal, they don't. Draven is a lot more powerful than Caitlyn early. I think if he gets a hold of her and doesn't step on traps and eat too many Qs, I think Draven can just crush her. So get aggressive. Tell your Draven to be aggressive. Try to trade with your W as much as you can. Watch out for Kha'Zix. Master Yi usually doesn't gank a lot, especially at lower elos. He's kind of a power farmer. He might surprise me here, but typically they don't gank a lot, especially pre-6. Now, Kha'Zix isn't like the gank master early. He doesn't have a lot of crowd control, and if you're against Ziggs, Ziggs doesn't have crowd control either bot lane. So it shouldn't be a huge deal, but you know, just be careful because Kha'Zix will probably, I would guess, be a bit more active early on than Yi. Make sure that you keep Dragon Warded. Kha'Zix can take it really quickly out from under you, so you don't want him to sneak dragons. And finally, your team should win the late game, so you shouldn't feel like super pressured that you have to like take major risks early. But you do have the more aggressive, more powerful lane, so you should be aggressive. Just, you know, you probably have the late game, so you know you don't need to feel like you have to take extraordinary risks. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. I'll take some notes, and then we'll finalize it at the end. All right. Oh, hold on. I forgot that I turned the volume down on that. Volume mixer. Had that background music going all day when I was trying to do that other stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna speed through this a little bit. I wouldn't invade. They have an Annie.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
She didn't charge her stun though, but it's still a little risky. Okay, there's Ziggs bottom. Ziggs had exhaust, so you would have known it. I didn't know it. I guess if I'd looked at his summoners, I could have seen that he had exhaust, but... Alright, good stuff. Draven? He's not spinning his axes. He killed like 3 CS with no axes. Alright. Play up more, play up more. Oops, okay. I mean, they are gonna hit level 2, but like once you hit level 2, you need to get up there and get aggressive with them. Okay, Yi, well, I'm wrong. Yi is actually coming for a really fast gank. He stole the red. Okay. Did you go bubble or E second? Okay, so if you saw Yi coming before you hit 2, you should have gotten your E, so you could put the slow on him. If you didn't know that E was going to come and you already leveled up, then you should have gone Q. I would play forward here. Like, especially the Sigs, get up there and get him. Like, just start auto-attacking this guy and, like, wave him. Like, the thing about Nami, don't worry about going for bubbles. That's just a waste of mana, because this Draven is not really getting that aggressive, and they're full health. Like, even if you hit him with the bubble, like, what's gonna happen? Nothing. Probably, like, you might get an auto-attack, but Draven was, like, way back here, so... Alright, get in there, get in there. I don't know if you're lagging or what, but yeah, get in there. So yeah, I would say you definitely need to be getting up there. Like, the thing is, your wave is not very efficient as a single target heal, so if you're just healing Draven, it's pretty bad. You need to be, like, it needs to bounce to be efficient. So you need to, like, auto-attack them. Just keep autoing them until you get kind of lower, and then you wave, bounce it off of them, it bounces to you. And that's a much more efficient use of your resources. Because they don't have a heal, you know? Like, all that she's got is Warlords. She probably doesn't even have Dorans. No, she started Longsword, so she started a pretty greedy start. So yeah, I think that's something I'm definitely going to write down here, is you need to be getting aggressive early. Now, you're kind of low on mana, but the reason is you're just using, like, a level 1 heal, you're just spamming it on Draven, and it's not bouncing, so it's just really not that efficient. So yeah, I like the, you know, in theory, in team fights, yes, that's how you should be playing. You should be playing back like that once they have the damage to kill you, but right now these guys don't have enough damage. Nami is very, very powerful early on. Like, you can win almost anything. Like, the only people that can really trade with you early might be like a Sona or a Soraka in terms of small, non-all-in trades. So you should be up there leveraging that. Okay, see how that bounced? That's kind of what you want to do more. Like, I would type and tell this Draven, hey, like, let's get up there and get him. Let's speed this up a little bit. Yeah, so I think if you like this playstyle of just kind of chill and, like, level up, you know, and power up to the mid-game, I would recommend playing someone like a Janna or maybe a Soraka or something. Because Nami is really designed to be aggressive early on. That's a big part of her power dynamic, is that she's very strong early, and then she gets outscaled by people, typically, not always, but typically by people like Janna, Sona, stuff like that. She's not going to be as strong later, so you really have to leverage that early game when you're picking Nami. I wouldn't... Yeah. It's a bit dangerous. You're going to get cut off. Y'all are gonna lead him right in this dragon pit, aren't you? Okay, well, I guess they're just not gonna check it. Alright. Okay, good job. Yeah, just back, you're backing. Okay, I would get a couple of fairy charms here, because you're running into some mana problems. Okay, that's good. A bit idle. I guess Kha'Zix hasn't ganked that much. You know, another option would just be, like, go, you know, 3 fairy charms plus Ruby Sightstone or something like that. But Forbidden Idol's good. That does give you the extra plus healing. And the CDR. Oh, that's a good thing. Or you need to go. Once he starts clicking that, you need to go. Put the wave on him. Don't get killed. Run. Just run. Okay, good. They got him. Don't go over here. You know Annie's gonna follow. Here, let me I'll turn on Fog of War here so I can give you a more accurate, like, without a god's eye view of what's going on. Okay, so one thing, especially in the early game, you can put your E on yourself, and then when you auto attack, it slows, and then once they're slowed, then go for the bubble. It can be hard to hit people when they're going full speed with that bubble, but you want to slow them and then lead them with the bubble. So hit them to where they're slowed, like right here, and then as they're sort of slowly walking away, then throw the bubble just a little bit ahead of them. It makes it really, really hard to dodge. Okay, so guess I'll say E plus Q more for all ends. Alright. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit more. What you got? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I wouldn't upgrade the gold item either. I've been on the fence about that recently, but yeah, I wouldn't. Draven can't really make a play on that because he's got too many minions here, so I wouldn't ult there. I would just chill until he cleans that out, and then you can maybe do it. Now watch out, Annie's not here. Okay, there she is. She's middle. So your team's starting to massacre everybody. He's doing pretty well. Okay, I missed. What? Oh. Alright. Style points, I guess. Yeah, y'all need to run. Run. Exhaust her right now. Okay, you don't have exhaust. Yeah, you're just dead, probably. Okay, cool. Hey, you know what? Those magic resist runes saved you right there. Does she have Mobies? She's moving kind of quick. Hey, just go ahead back. Or help him push. One or the other. Go up and start attacking this wave right now. Attacking it. Drop it like a W or like a Q here or something. Like, if you're gonna stay, you need to help him push. Because he wants to back. Because he just got a bunch of gold. No. Don't. Yeah, you don't even have wards to put up there, I don't think, right now. Yeah, so if you would have just helped him push that, y'all could have been back. Like, if you started pushing this wave and then pushed this one, you guys could have almost been back to lane already. Okay, so help ADC push after kills. And the best way to do that is throw a Q on the caster minions. You should be able to hit all three of them. And then press an E on yourself, and then hit the caster minions like one time a piece, and that'll be enough. You always want to get them like kind of low, so that way he can one-shot them if possible. If it's someone like a Caitlyn, you get them all kind of low, and then she can Q and just knock them all through. So you just kind of figure this out, but you know the main goal is just push, like help him get those into the tower so that he can back up. And Annie's missing. Do you have a Sightstone yet? You should really have a Sightstone by this point. The map's starting to open up. Annie's roaming a lot. You should definitely have a Sightstone by this point. Like, I don't mind going Forbidden Idol first. just because you're kind of having some mana problems in lane, and you have a really dominant lane, and you can fight with it. But after that, you have to get a Sightstone. You have to have a Sightstone under 10 minutes. Usually it should be your first buy. But sometimes, like I said, if you're in a dominant position in your lane, which you are, you've already got Infinity Edge, you know, you can get some combat stats like a Forbidden Idol. But then this right here should have been a completed Sightstone. With like a control ward or something. Because right now we, like, you see Annie there, but she keeps fading in and out of vision. Like, now she's gone. We don't know where Kha'Zix is. It's risky. Oh, see, there's Yi. There's Kha'Zix. So your jungler is actually warding pretty well. This Yi's doing some good things. They're gonna kill him. This Kha'Zix is pretty inexperienced, I think. He's getting roughed up this game. Okay. Good. Pretty good exhaust, yeah. Alright, let him hit it. Okay, good. See, if you had control wards, you could make sure they're locked out of vision here, and that would let Brand roam down and get more kills. And if you had Sightstone, you could have this warded and this warded, so Brand would know when Kha'Zix is coming. So right now it's pretty dangerous for him to sit here. Kha'Zix will probably just come rolling up through here and die, but, you know, if they have this warded, he could coordinate with Annie, and Annie could collapse down, and they could kill him. Looks like Annie is coming down, but he needs to run. I can jump this right now. Nope, right now. Nope, not in this bush, not in this bush. Okay. Alright, what'd you get? Redemption. I mean, rushing the redemption is really nice. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Alright, that was good. He alphaed the Tibber stun. Well, boys and girls, we got a booster Yi. Probably. I don't know if he's exactly a booster, but this is Master Yi. You gotta... Y'all killed Caitlyn and Ziggs again. Yeah, I mean, Draven's just like absurdly strong right now. He's probably just like two-shotting people. Yeah, Draven and Yi are just like taking off, going out into orbit right now. With how far above some of these other champions they are in this game, it's just a snowball and a half. Alright, but you need Sightstone. So it's pretty hard for y'all to lose at this point, because these have a better comp than they... Well, your comp's not exactly 100% better, but if it has this much gold, it definitely is. Sightstone now? Okay, you got Sightstone, good. I would go Ardent Sensor here, especially because this Draven is just crushing people so hard. Like, if you have an Ardent Sensor, he's just, like, gonna crush him even harder. Because he doesn't have lifesteal and he doesn't have much attack speed right now. That would help him out with both. Yeah, he's probably dead. Whoa. Nice. Alright, so you need to probably set up for Herald. Yeah, it's the next thing. Herald. Keep pushing. I would ward here and here. Heal him, heal him. Yeah. He's gonna die. Yeah, if you had that warded, you could have seen him and run. You need to run this way. They're teleporting behind you. Oh, never mind. That's Jax. Okay, good. But yeah, so in that situation where y'all are just hanging out here, since you have 3 wards on your Sightstone, just why not just drop a ward here and drop a ward here. Don't forget that, like, every time you go back to base, you get 3 more wards. So if you didn't place your wards, then those are just wasted, because, you know, you got new ones. So you could have had old ones, you know, on the board. So yeah, ward here, ward here. You might even just want to run up and, like, ward over here just real quick. That is out of your way to go too far. But you're already standing right here. All you do is just drop a ward. Heck, just like ward here at these entrances, and then just like ward behind you. Just drop them anywhere. You know? Okay. Yeah, it's time to go. Drop a ward here. That way, after they clear this, you can see which way they're rotating. Like, warding in the middle of the lane is a decent way to see which way the enemy goes after they wave clear. Okay. So you could have had some wards ticking. Not a huge deal. The Tryndamere probably wouldn't have killed Draven if he had a ward there. Like I said, you know, it's a game like this where your team's just kind of running away with it, just snowballing really hard. You know, it's easy to get a little complacent and just get a little lazier on the wards, get a little lazier on the rotations and things like that, but you want to always play as sharp as you can so that you're ready, you know, for the tougher games. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, you should have... I don't know how much gold you have, but you definitely should have had some control wards. You just sell this at this point. Just sell this Spell Thieves if you need inventory space and just get control wards.
Blue team's inhibitor has been
So... I would leave. Just leave. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so you need to get out of here and go either... I would say just grab Dragon. Yeah, like come down here, ward this. You can see when people are rotating. Come down here, ward this, go grab Dragon, ward this. No. There's no reason. You're in between towers. Just get out, get out. Yeah, focus on objectives here. You're just kind of aimlessly just wandering around, like looking for fights. This is how throws happen. Like, yeah, y'all are slaughtering them right now because you're so far ahead, but if this game was closer, this would be rough. Y'all need to start getting objectives instead of running around for kills. Because they get a kill on him, and it's like, yeah, it's cool because, you know, you guys got more kills than they did this time. But that may not always be the case. As I said before, and they got shutdown gold. So I'm going to say, focus on OBJs more. You always want to play as tight of a game as you possibly can. If you start giving them kills, you don't want to trade kills. Because if you give them kills, then they get back in the game. They have the mentality like, oh my gosh, we can come back. Where if you don't give them anything, then they might just give up. So not only do you have a higher probability of winning the game, you have a higher probability of winning the game faster because they'll have no hope and they'll surrender in like 20 or 24 minutes. But if they see you running in here and just like dying with somebody and they're just like, oh, these guys are split up, they're not taking objectives, they're not getting any more inhibitors, we have a chance, you know? They're making these macro mistakes so we can get back into the game, right? If they get kills, it gives them hope. You do not want to give them hope. Like I said, even if you win the game, maybe you could have won it 10 minutes faster and got another game in that day. So it's safer and it's faster if you just play a nice, tight, clean game and just clean it up quickly. Which means that you just go take objectives. Like right now, go get this Baron. You just killed the jungler. Ping him back. I mean, you're trying to get him to do it. Okay. Well, you tried. Okay, he's coming up here now. It's like 30 seconds later. Once the jungler's back up, he might come do it. You need to type to them. So don't just ping, like, assist Baron. Say, get Baron now. Get Baron. And just, like, ping it 3 times. Like, sometimes they may not go. But just do the best you can to corral them in. Yes, this Yi's not a booster. If this Yi was a booster, he would have gotten Baron. He's just a master. Pretty good. Heal. Use Redemption. I can't tell if that's on cooldown or not. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you should have used that a bit earlier when it was really scary. Okay, there's a surrender. Alright. Okay, so, you know, sometimes it's tough in a game that's that much of a slaughter to figure out extra things that you could be doing. Let me look at your OP.GG again real quick here. Okay, so you got a pretty good Nami win, right? Yeah, overall it's kind of rough. Yeah, I think definitely just keep spamming Nami is what it looks like. This is a really low sample size, so you haven't played a ton of games this season, so don't freak out too much about that win rate. You know, if you win like 3 games, you're back at 50% or something. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, okay, so the best things that you can probably work on. Okay, so number 1 is be more aggressive early on. This is something you have to do with Nami. As I said, she gets outscaled by a lot of other enchanters, so you really have to get aggressive. And what you want to do is just auto wave auto if you can, or at least auto wave. And the reason that works well, they're going to trade some damage back onto you, right? So they're going to auto attack you, and they're going to, like, a couple of minions to hit you or whatever. But you're getting an auto attack, and you're waving them, and so that's going to do, like, 100 damage or something. They only have 600 health, so if you just go in and just keep trading that, just wave, auto, back up, wave, auto, back up, and just keep doing it like that on the AD carry, eventually they're just going to run out of stuff unless they have a healer themselves. If you want to go for an all-in, this is something else that I mentioned earlier. Use E plus Q for all in. Okay, and use E on yourself so you can control, because if you just put the E on the Draven or the AD carry, they may not attack the person that you want them to attack, or they might be a little late on the attack. Use it on yourself. If you're trying to land a Q, use it on yourself, auto attack them, and then as they're slowed, then lead them with the Q and hit them with the bubble. That's the easiest way to do it. You can try to just go for a straight bubble, but those can be hard to land. But the best time to go for that is when they're going for a last hit on a minion. So when they come up for a last hit on a minion, you can go for the Q on the back end, or if you really want to be aggressive, put an E on yourself, then attack them, then go for the Q. Remember, your E does the same amount of damage regardless of whether it's on you or whether it's on the AD carry. As long as somebody's auto-attacking, it's the same thing. Because crit doesn't matter and AD doesn't matter. It's not like a Janna shield. It's just flat out a set amount of damage. So it's okay to put the E on yourself if you're trying to land a Q. I'll say help ADC push waves after kills. So whenever your AD carry gets a kill, they have a lot of gold, so they need to go back and buy something. They just push up the wave, just start auto attacking until the minions get down to like 30% health, and then just don't touch it, let them last hit it. But just try to auto attack them down as much as you can. And that one example that I showed you, you could have been back in the base probably 15 seconds faster and been, you know, halfway back to lane, which is a big deal. I mean, that could be one extra wave of minions. If the enemy team comes back and pushes really hard, you know, that could be a full wave of minions that you miss, or that your AD carry misses because you didn't back fast enough. Or maybe you could have warded dragon and prevented them from killing the dragon. Or maybe you would have warded just fast enough to get out of there before the jungler catches you, or before the mid laner roams, or whatever. You want to be on the map doing stuff as much as you can, and so just try to push the wave after a kill and just get it into their tower without taking the CS. Ward much more often. So, like I said, getting the Forbidden Idol early is okay, but you want to make sure that you get that Sightstone before 10 minutes, and you need to be putting wards on the map. And the thing about wards is it's not just for protecting you, it's not just for protecting your AD carry, it's for giving information to everyone else on the team, so that they understand, hey, the jungler's here. Like, if the top laner sees the jungler bottom, they can say, hey, I can go aggressive here. Or if they see the jungler bottom, you know, your top laner and jungler might say, hey, we can go get Rift Herald because they're on the bottom side. Or maybe your jungler's like doing Gromp on your side, and you know, they see the jungler, like you have the enemy jungler's red warded, and they see the enemy jungler just completed their red, and they start walking down to bottom lane for a gank. Then they say, oh, he's walking out of bottom lane for a gank, and then your jungler can come down and counter gank. So, you know, will junglers and other laners at Silver 5 really pay attention to that and make the best decisions based on that? Maybe, maybe not. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to give them the intel, and you can help them make decisions. So if you see the jungler bottom, type that in chat, like question mark it and say jungler bottom, probably going to gank bot. Or if you see the jungler rotating top or something, you can say their jungler. You can say their jungler's top, let's get the dragon really quickly, and just ping the dragon like 3 times and just go get it. So just having that intel really helps you make better decisions. Even if your team doesn't know what to do with that intel, you can tell them what to do if you're making the right shot calls. You did shot call the Baron, which was really good, and that's what your team should have done. They didn't listen to you, but at least you tried. But try to do that much more often. Like, tell that person, I don't remember who it was that was running up the middle just trying to fight everybody, like a Jax or something. Tell them to back up, go take the towers, go take the dragons. As I said, don't give the enemy team any hope. Like, help them focus. Like, tell them objectives. Ping them back and say, let's go get this. Let's go get the other tower. Let's go get this. Like, keep them on track. Like, kills don't matter. And yes, it's really hard for y'all to lose that game. You know, if you replayed that game from like 15 minutes on, you'd probably win it 90 times out of 100, if not more. But there will be many more close games that are a lot harder to win. And so you need to always play the best game you can play. Don't take it for granted. Don't play around. You know, just finish the game as fast as you can. Then you get to go to the next game. Start fresh. So, and that's the fastest way to climb. Because trust me, throws happen. Like, it might seem like that game's impossible to throw. It is not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. You know, what if they killed the Jax 2 or 3 times while he was goofing around like that, right? And then all of a sudden, Draven's like, says something like, dude, you're an idiot. Why do you keep doing that? Or whatever. And then Jax is like, oh, well, I don't care. I'm AFK. And just like AFK is like, you don't deserve to win. Y'all are stupid. Or whatever. You know? Like, as soon as someone on your team, even if you're ahead, dies a couple of times, they might just start raging out. I've seen it happen a lot. So, you know, especially like in Silver and Bronze. I mean, it happens in every elo. But people just are looking for a reason to rage out. They're just waiting to AFK. Right? Don't give them any reasons. Just end the game. Like, someone's power could go out. Like, who knows? Maybe the Draven and the Jax are like duo queued in Kansas or something, and like a tornado rolls through their neighborhood, knocks out their power, and nobody's hurt miraculously, right? Because we don't want people to get hurt. But like, it just knocks out their power. All of a sudden, you lose. Or maybe someone like only had 25 minutes to play a game, and then they had to go to work, and they just decided they'd play a game anyways. And that Jax is like, oh, sorry, I got to go to work, see ya, and just like AFKs. Or this girl is like texting him or Snapchatting him or something, and it's just like, hey, come over, but only like right now, you know, my parents are gone for an hour or something like that. He's like, oh, see ya, you know, and bounces, right? Any number of things could happen. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, so don't leave it to chance. Like, you have to focus up and just close out games. I mean, like I said, I know it seems impossible to lose that game, and in many senses it is, but when you take into account there are real people on the other side of that screens and just anything could happen out there, you really just need to close it out and move on to the next game. I've seen stuff like that happen. Like, I've seen people say, oh, sorry, girl texting, or oh, sorry, like, gotta go to work, or whatever, or rage out because someone called them something mean on the internet. All right. And I would just say focus on objectives more, which is similar. You were, like I said, you were trying to call Baron, but there were times when you were chasing people past like tier 2 towers and stuff. And I know you want to save people and stop them from doing dumb things, but just if they're gonna do something dumb, just let them die and just stay focused and like go do something else. I know it's a tough call because you don't want them to rage, you don't want them to think you're abandoning them, so I understand that tension, but you know, just in general, do the best you can to focus on objectives and get your team to focus on objectives more. And having much more vision will help you with that. Okay, that's going to be it. Overall, fantastic game. You know, it's, like I said, it's hard to critique a game like that because you have such a great score, but I'm just trying to instill good habits in you as much as I can so that you're ready for the next games, which might be a little bit tougher than that one. You know, the Draven and the Yi got so fed, it was almost impossible to lose that game. But these things will help you in future games a lot, I hope. So anyways, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Akimbo. I hope this helps you out, and thanks for being patient for a couple of days as I got this finished up for you. Anyone else watching that's interested, email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm happy to do a coaching session for you. If you want to see more coaching, it's right here. If you want more champion guides, including the Nami guide, you can go here and find it. And that's going to be it. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.